Osceola McCarty was an older woman in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, where my dad went to high school. And Osceola finished school after the 6th grade and dropped out. She could no longer afford not to be working. And she, for the rest of her life, she took in other people's laundry. She took in linens for parties that she was not invited to attend. She took in bed sheets, she took in towels from other people's houses, and she washed that and earned her living very modestly. She lived in a very small house with no air conditioning. She saved money every way she could. She had just an old 13-inch black and white TV. She had no cable, and she just had the rabbit ears. She taped her shoes together when they began to wear out so that she could wear them longer. And she also taped her Bible together when 1 Corinthians fell out after having been used so much. So you can imagine the surprise at the University of Southern Mississippi that day in the development office when a phone call came in and Osceola McCarty asked if she could meet with somebody from the development office there at the university. And a gentleman named Bill was the gift officer who received the call, and he said, "Yes, I'll be happy to come see you at your house, Miss McCarty, and thank you for thinking of us." And he thought to himself, "Man, I'm going to go waste a whole day and go visit with this elderly poor woman and get a check for $50." So he went and he organized the day, and he went to have lunch with Osceola McCarty at her home there in Hattiesburg. And on that day, she shared with him her story that she had dropped out after 6th grade, and she always wished that she'd been able to complete her education. And because of that, she had struggled financially in her life and struggled to make ends meet, but she wanted to do something. She didn't have kids of her own. She wanted to do something to help kids be able to have opportunities that she hadn't been able to afford. And so she wanted to give a gift to the University of Southern Mississippi to help particularly poor African-American young men and young women who were the first people in their families to go to college. And that day, she presented a check to the University of Southern Mississippi for $150,000. Bill was overwhelmed. He went back to the office. He shared the story. The university announced Osceola McCarty's gift. And pretty soon the businesses in Hattiesburg matched that to create the beginning of an endowment of $300,000, $150,000 from Osceola, the laundry taker-inner, and $150,000 from the business people in Hattiesburg, $300,000 to create a scholarship fund to help poor young African Americans who were the first in their families to go to college, to pursue the education and the dreams and the possibilities for their lives that Osceola only could have imagined. God bless her. She understood that the more you give, the more you receive.